Hey, Firehawks family.
Hey everyone.
Hope everyone is keeping well. Hey, we just thought we'd just jump on and make a video because it's easier. As you know, we had a meeting with the club last night just to discuss where our season is at, and there's a lot of things to cover. So we just thought instead of writing a long-winded email that you'd have to read, it'd just be easy just to talk to you via video. So yeah, as you know, we had a meeting yesterday, and the great news is that the club confirmed via ARL that we will have a season. It's going to be a short season. It's only going to be 11 weeks. So it'll be 8 weeks of round robin and 3 weeks of finals. When that season starts is all dependent on the government and when they make the decision on Monday in terms of the group numbers. So now it's only 10 people that are limited to group gatherings. So if they extend that, hopefully to 50, we will be allowed to train. And the minute we get that clearance to train, so once the government makes the decision on Monday, then ARL, New Zealand Rugby League, will make their decision and give us the green light to train. So once they give us that green light to train, they're going to do a staggered start to the season. So we take it from the day that we're allowed to train. Our season will start 5 weeks from there. So the Prems and the Fox will start 3 weeks from that date, and we will start 5 weeks from that date. So we've got another 5 weeks of sort of pre-season training. So again, that's all dependent on what the government say on Monday. If they don't extend or expand those numbers, then we have to wait for the following week, and then we take the 5 weeks from there. And if not that week, we go back to the next week, and then we start our 5 weeks from there. So basically, we start 5 weeks from whenever the government expand those groups of 10, and we're hoping for 50 because that allows for us to have our squad of 19 coaches, trainers, some parents. Season is going to be pretty short, and they're going to be going into, well, they're going to be extending it, obviously depending on the later we start, the later we finish. But 11 weeks is not long. 8 weeks of round robin is not long. And then they're just trying to decide how that's actually going to work. Our grade had 28 teams registered before Covid-19. Not sure if those 28 teams are all going to be returning, but it's a lot of teams. So if we have 2 pools or 3 or 4 pools, the concerns I raised were that you could have, say, us and the Pumas and a few other strong teams in one pool, and then another pool could be quite weak, which isn't really fair for the stronger teams, especially the ones out south. So I'm trying to come up with some ideas to submit to Tash and the club and how I think we could do it, but it's a bit of a tricky situation. At the end of the day, everyone's got to deal with it, and we're going to have to deal with it. And then I just have confidence that we can just beat anyone on the day. So we just take that out of their hands, really. In terms of training, everything is going to change in terms of COVID-19. As you know, everyone is really pushing on. Well, the government says we've got to do contact tracing, a lot of the sort of hygiene sort of things we've got to incorporate into our trainings and into game day. Even training itself, we're not sure where and when that's going to be in terms of location and days. It's a bit of a minefield of things that the club sort of has to sort out because again, we're not sure what's happening with parks and lights and all that kind of stuff. So as you can tell, it gets dark at around 5:30, and that's pretty much when we start. So we need lights, but there's going to be a lot of sort of going with the flow and sort of having to adapt as we already have been for the last 7-8 weeks. So yeah, the other thing I just wanted to touch on as well was the training challenge that we've been doing. It was noted in our meeting that the Firehawks are probably the only team that have managed to consistently train for the whole lockdown, and a lot of teams have started, but they've fallen off and have sort of stopped. But That's a real credit to you parents and to the players just for keeping that commitment. I know it's starting to wane a bit now. We're getting into 7 weeks now of training remotely or on your own, and it is getting a bit tough now. Like Pauline said tonight, running out of ideas, and I'm running out of ideas as well in terms of challenges. But hopefully, fingers crossed, we can start training next week, if not the week after. So keep it up. Really proud of everyone and the efforts. It's awesome seeing everyone's videos. It's really inspiring, and you know. But again, it doesn't sort of replicate the intensity that we have as a team training. So at least you're keeping active, you're keeping fit, and then when we get together, we're just gonna have to hit the ground running harder and faster because we've only got 5 weeks to prep. Not sure if we're allowed to have preseason games. We'll have to check with the club if we're allowed to have preseason games within that 5 weeks. But yeah, we'll see. In terms of that, like I said, everything's changing with COVID. The way we train, the way the games will be managed, and they spoke about having a Covid-19 officer, which sort of Nita's going to touch on now. So it's going to require a lot of help from parents at training, at the games, whether we have one officer or multiple officers that are able to share the load. That would be awesome, but Nita can touch on that.
Yeah. So they touched on this COVID-19 officer or rep being able to take the training attendance and also reporting back to the club. There are a lot of things, so yeah, we thought, the club thought it'd be too much just for the manager to take that role, and there are a lot of things that would need to that we'd need assistance with. So I'll come back to that after, but the club send a huge thanks to all the parents for filling out the survey, because from that survey they were able to get a lot of feedback on what real concerns the parents had. The number one main concern was there needed to be a health and safety plan, before they would even consider bringing their kids back, and what processes and protocols would need to be followed in. That was the number one concern. The second one was hygiene packs. Would we have sufficient enough hygiene, protocols and all those processes? Would we have that all in place? So that was another concern with that. And then the third one was food. A lot of people have been hit very hard from COVID-19 and all the repercussions of, just everything. So the third one that was highest was food, and then the fourth one was employment. So first concern, health and safety plan, we will wait for the club, and we will wait for them to give us those processes there and protocols that we need to follow, and then that's when the COVID-19 rep will be able to come in and help, and we can speak about this together. I normally take training attendance anyway, so that's something that we'd already have in place, but it's really just about making sure that we've got processes in place for the boys to follow in order to make sure that they're keeping clean, washing hands, having sanitizer around. So that's where the hygiene packs come in place. The club have been able to organise hygiene packs which have disposable gloves, a box of those. Also a 5-litre bottle of hand sanitizer gel, which is a huge bonus. And very, very grateful for to the club for organising this. Now these hygiene packs are actually coming through from
Muma.
Mm-hmm.
Some of you may know Muma is the Manukau Urban Māori Authority.
Yeah.
So they've been kind enough to supply those packs, and each member of the club, so each player will get one of those packs for them and their families. So
Truly
it's
amazing.
great initiative from the club, and they've got a lot of great initiatives that Nita's going to carry on talking about.
Sure. So with the third concern that everyone had about food, there will be a life kitchen which will be set up. The club will give further details on that. Last night they actually had a drive-through, so people were able to pick up some packs and take it home. And that's a huge blessing, And maybe once we start trainings, then we'd be able to actually go as a team or something like that.
For those of you that remember when we trained last year, I think it was Tuesday nights, they had the Life Kitchen at the Metro Theatre. So they're the same church running that. And like they said last night, it's no strings attached. It's anyone can come along and grab packs of food for yourselves or for your families. So that'll be running now out of the club on Tuesday nights. But more info will follow on that.
Yeah, sure. Was there something else with food?
No.
No. Okay.
Fees.
Fees. So what the club have done is a concern was fees. So the fees now for each player will be $15. Previously it was $20, and then you also had to pay for your card, which was $6. But yes, they are discounting. They're discounting that down to $15. So for all those who have paid already, I will give that $5 back. I can organise that with you later. And just for the few that are needing to pay, it will be $15, and I can organise and touch base with you after. Okay, sure. The fourth concern also was employment, which came through on the survey. So the club will also give us further details on First Court and also 2 other recruitment agencies or forces that they'll be bringing into place as well. So, please, Louis and I are here for the players, but also for the parents. If you've got any concerns, please feel free to let us know. If not, that's completely fine. But, we know that a lot of people's circumstances may have changed, not of the fault of your own. It's just the whole situation of Covid-19. So, that we just thought that was a real blessing that the club has thought of all these initiatives to try and, cover all the concerns that all the members have had. So what I didn't say was that they did say a huge thank you, because 55% of all our members had replied and done the survey within 7 days. So that was huge, being at their first survey that we've done.
Cool. We also mentioned about the contact tracing that they're going to be incorporating. This is one of the things that they might be doing is, I don't know if you can see it, but we will give you details that is everyone has to create their own sort of ID me. It's anyway, where you get this little QR code, and that's all we had to do yesterday to actually check into the club. So every player, every adult's going to need one of those. So we might have to be scanning in to trainings and into games, and maybe not trainings, but they're not too sure. But when we go to the club, we'll definitely have to scan in at a location.
And what we'd need to do also is they said the parents would need to register their children, even those who aren't playing, but the youngest member in the family. So it's just for the contact tracing. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Other things they touched on were uniforms, socks. There's just no socks. There's no stock of socks. If you don't have socks, we'll work something out, or we'll figure out where you can buy some red socks. As long as we can get it as close as we can to our club uniform, that'll be awesome. Team shorts, I think there's a sort of low quantity on team shorts, but we'll be getting a stock list sent to us from Val.
So we'll wait for
there's
that to come through.
a bit of merchandise left, but it's not that important. But socks and shorts are, and I'm big on us looking uniform on the field, but we know it's hard times and it's different times, so we are able to make exceptions as long as we can get as close as we can to the uniform. So if you haven't got socks or shorts that fit anymore, just let us know and we'll see what we can do, or direct you into a place where we can get them. What else is there?
Yeah, so it's uniform.
Also, just before COVID, we sort of spoke about what we wanted for merchandise for the team, and we were looking at getting. We definitely wanted warm-up tees. As you know, not everyone gets a jersey on game day, and we definitely wanted warm-up tees, and we wanted team jackets. We got a few quotes, or Juanita got a few quotes from a few companies for team jackets, and we actually managed to get some sponsorship from a local building company, family building company, who agreed to sponsor all our team jackets. But that was before COVID-19. We're unsure what's happening with that sponsorship, but we will follow up in the next week. As you know, it's a bit of a sensitive topic, and money's a bit hard for all these businesses, so we're sort of bit sensitive about it, and we'll sort of ask when the time is right whether that sponsorship is still going to go ahead. If not, it's fine. We'll work something else out and see if there is someone else that can sort of sponsor us. But they did agree to that before COVID. Other problem with that is also shipping. As you know, most of the stuff comes from China, so we may be expecting a delay, and then the script has been flipped, so we just gotta try and work on some other things and see how we can make it. We don't want our jackets arriving for prize giving, if you know what I mean. So we want them to actually be used during the season. So we'll work on that in the next week or so, and put a plan in place. So yeah.
Okay.
Anything else?
I think we've pretty much covered
Cool.
everything.
If you guys got any questions, chuck them in the comments, or text Juanita or I if you don't want to. If you don't want it in the open forum. Tash, if you've got anything you want to correct or add, please chuck it in the comments. That'll be fantastic. And a big shout out to Tash and Val and the club. It's a hard time for everyone, and they're really trying their best to get our club up and running and back onto the field. And it's all about the kids. And as you know, it's been an important year for us, championship, and it has been changed a bit, but we just got to work with what we got and adapt. And so we'll be good, and we're really looking forward to getting on the training paddock together as a team. Like I said, you guys have been amazing with your home training. Some of the videos you guys have been posting and the workouts you guys have been doing. It's just it's been exceptional. So keep it up. Hopefully this is the last week of it. Maybe one more week next week. Who knows? But until Monday we won't know. So fingers crossed. But I'm just happy we've got a season, even if it's only 11 games. Well, 8 games if we don't make the finals. But hey, we're going to make the finals. I think that's all from us. We'll try to get into an email if we can sometime this week, but there's a lot to write out, so that's why we thought it'd be easier just to chuck it on a video. Hopefully we haven't bored you guys too much. I hope the kids that have gone back to school are enjoying it, and those that are still at home are still enjoying their home learning, and everyone's safe and well. And if you got anything that you want to talk to us about, whether it's not league related or just life related, just give us a shout. We're always here, and So take care. God bless, and hope to see you all soon.
Definitely.
Cool.
See you, everyone.
See ya.